station. First, the news headlines. President Buhari says addressing security challenges requires joint efforts. As the world celebrates Children's Day, United Nations urges Nigeria to reinforce child rights protection. On a foreign scene, President Biden orders investigation into virus origin as lab leak theory debated. And in sports, Villarreal beat Manchester United to win Europa League. Details of these and more coming shortly. President Muhammadu Buhari says addressing Nigeria's security challenges require joint efforts of all Nigerians. President Buhari said this at the opening of a 4-day special summit on national security organized by the House of Representatives in Abuja. President Buhari, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, said security had become a major concern at global, regional and national levels.
I'm certain that we shall overcome, just as we have done many times throughout our history. However, success at this time requires that we set aside all other considerations and commit ourselves to a common endeavor in the national interest.
The leadership of the armed forces and the security agencies are mindful of the concerns that are being shown or that are being expressed across the country, and we promise that in line with the directive of the Commander-in-Chief that we will take every measure necessary to bring peace to our fatherland.
In his remark, President of the Senate, Senator Ahmed Lawan, said that Nigeria was at a crossroad, adding that the very essence of existence of the country was under threat. He said what began as a small insurgency in Yobe had snowballed into a full-blown terrorism with banditry in the northwest, herder-farmer clashes in the north-central, and attack on government facilities in the southeast. Lawan said that the summit was essentially to enhance the work of security agencies as criminals were becoming too comfortable, adding that the nationhood was being tested.
This time of our national history, when insecurity threatens the authority of the state and the foundations of our nationhood, when the activities of bandits, insurgents, and criminals of every stripe impede our efforts at progress and prosperity, we must confront the realization that our previous and current approaches to addressing the challenges of insecurity have not yielded the desired results.
The National Assembly should work hard, as it always does, to provide more resources. I also want to say that we must review the procurement processes by the security agencies.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, said concrete efforts must be made to tackle current security challenges facing the country. Delta State government has denied receiving £4.2 million looted by its former governor, James Ibori. The Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, on Tuesday, while appearing before the Senate committee investigating the status of recovered loot, noted that the fund has been returned to the state. However, the Chief Press Secretary to the state government, Olisa Ifejika, yesterday countered the Accountant General's claim, insisting the oil-rich state is yet to receive the money. He assured that the Delta State government will ensure that the funds are judiciously utilized to improve infrastructure across the state once it is received.
We appreciate the willingness of the federal government to return that money to Delta State where it rightly belongs. But the truth is that that money has not hit the account of Delta for our state government. We saw it yesterday, like every other Nigerian, that when the Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, while appearing before the House of Representatives Committee on Recovered Assets, made that statement, and there was this avalanche of inquiries to know whether the money had come to us. And the truth, like I told you, is that the money hasn't come. But we're happy that they've shown willingness, shown disposition to send the money, and we know that very soon the money will come, having started the process. And I must add that the state government is in constant touch with them. We were in contact with the federal government through the office of the Attorney General of the Federation. And I assure you that when the money arrives, like it's obvious it will arrive, and they haven't started the process, as it were, we will acknowledge it and let the public know. We should also assure that, like we have always done, the money will be properly deployed to reasonable infrastructure that Deltans will appreciate.
To other news now, the chairman and chief executive of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, has warned that current moves by some stakeholders to push for the legalization of cannabis in Nigeria will rob the country of the gains so far made in the renewed war against drug abuse and trafficking in the country. The NDLEA boss spoke in Abuja at a National Security Summit organized by the House of Representatives. He said the present figure of 10.6 million Nigerians abusing cannabis is frightening and enough to sound the alarm bell. Further addressing the summit, Brigadier General Marwa said there is presently no bigger national issue than the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, adding that the relationship between substance abuse and crime is a fact.
Over 10 million Nigerians use cannabis, that is marijuana. Most of it smoking, but they eat it with pepper soups and stuff. Over 10 million naira. I didn't make 10 million Nigerians. I didn't make this up. This is from the UNODC survey. Therefore, Nigeria should be, in my opinion, the last country facing its current security challenges to contemplate a law to legalize cannabis. If we legalize cannabis in any way, shape, or form, we will soon turn into a nation of junkies and criminals. It's very clear that this has to come out of my mouth as the head of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency of Nigeria.
To your state now, the State Independent Electoral Commission, OISEC, has declared the People's Democratic Party, the PDP candidate, Sheriff Adejo, as winner of the rescheduled Ido local government area election. The State OISEC chairman, Mr. Isiaka Olagunju, made the declaration in Abuja. OISEC had made the declaration in Ibadan. I beg your pardon. OISEC had rescheduled the election due to the omission of the Zenith Labour Party ZLP logo in the ballot papers. Olagunju said that Adejo emerged winner of the election, having polled the highest number of votes in the election. He said that Adejo polled 19,744 votes to defeat the ZLP and ADC candidates, who polled 637 and 122. Adejo's win has placed the PDP on a clean sweep of the entire 33 local governments in the state. OISEC had earlier declared PDP candidates as winners of 32 out of 33 local government areas in the state. The National President, Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Samson Sukbo Ayokunle, has charged the Nigerian government to implement the fundamental of democracy, which remains equity, justice, and fairness, in order for the country to overcome its present challenges and forge ahead. The Christian leader made this call yesterday in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, while speaking at a summit on the state of the nation organized by Victory International Church in celebration on the mission's founder 58th birthday. Reverend Ayokunle disclosed that there must be complete change of attitude on the part of the government and the citizenry, noting that disunity has created so many problems in the country, reason why Nigerians must have unity of purpose. While urging the Christian community to be proactive and join politics at their various grassroots levels in the quest for positive change, he charged the church to be alive to its duties as an agent of change that we clamor for.
the change begins with the church, then Nigeria will change. Because we have substantial population of Christians in Nigeria that can make the change. Not only that, we in Nigeria, we are going to be one country that God is going to bless, that will be peaceful. Our leader, we need to choose good leaders, credible leaders that are not ethnocentric, who are not religious fundamentalists, people that respect justice, people that have mutual respect for other people, irrespective of their ethnic groups, and also people, leaders that are ready to be fair in the distribution of things, in the scheme of things in this nation, and the church, and of course all Nigerians need to pray off bad government.
The guest lecturer at the event, Bishop Ashaju, a professor of theology from the Church of Nigeria, in his lecture titled A Nation in Need of Redefinition, opined that aside from seeking diplomatic means to review the legality of post-amalgamated Nigerian nation as a path to seeking a solution to the problems, the Nigerian leaders of various nations within Nigeria should organize a major conference to discuss the Nigerian question and come up with viable recommendation on how to restructure the country in a manner that will ensure peace, equity, and federalism.
Advocated that we should have a meeting of other people and let us sit down to discuss Nigeria. Let us look at what we are going to do with how we are going to relate to each other. Let us throw away this constitution. Let's have another constitution. Let us have people who know what they are doing. Many of these politicians who are just there, they don't know what they are doing. They don't offer us anything. They make promises they don't fulfill. They steal money. They are borrowing money they cannot pay back. They are impoverished. Everything has collapsed in this country. The roads are bad, hospitals are bad, the education system is collapsed, and we have brilliant people. We have professors, we have judges. Let us have people and work out a way out. I am advocating for a diplomatic and consultative agenda for us to be able to say, forget about your religion, forget about your tribe, let's go back to the good old days. And if we have to go back to the regional system, we go back there. And let us allow people to run their life. And we can work this out without war. War does not help anybody, and God will save us.
The founder of Victory International Church, Pastor Taiwo Victor Adelakun, in his address maintained that to refine the country Nigeria, the country's constitution must be reviewed or replaced. While he maintained that until the government had a lasting solution to the root cause of all the agitations, among which are tribalism, economic hardship, injustice, to redefine the country might be impossible.
Cause for the agitation is injustice, insecurity, and oppression that's going on in the land. Economic hardship and also things that's not fair that's going on. So if we can address the root, we can solve the problem. Nigeria is better together. But under a system where there's lopsidedness in appointments, there is tribal oppression and so on and so forth, there can't be peace, and so there will be agitation. So if we can solve the root cause, then we'll solve the problem. Also, major part of the problem is our constitution, where we derive the legal status that runs the nation. And that constitution has to be reviewed or be replaced completely. We need to wake up and call the political class to order, to do justice and to walk in the fear of God. There are a lot of propaganda going on, and that has to stop. Truth must be told to power.
The event climaxed with the presentation of bursary awards to 20 students from different government-owned secondary schools in the city of Ibadan and cash gifts to 40 widows. To health now. As Nigeria grapples with the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic, the United Nations Children's Emergency Fund has called for reinforcement on efforts geared towards protecting the rights of children in the country. Making the call today in a statement to commemorate the 2021 Children's Day, the UNICEF's country director in Nigeria, Peter Hawkins, lamented the outbreak of the pandemic, saying it had threatened decades of progress the world body made for children's development. Hawkins commended the effort of the Nigerian government at all levels and urged societies to protect education, health, and protection services in response to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on children. He noted that the Nigerian children were resilient, talented, and aspired to do great things, pointing out that it is our responsibility to give them the platform and encouragement to do just that. You're listening to the news at 1 p.m. on Splash 105.5 FM. Still to come, President Biden orders investigation into virus origin as lab leak theory debated. And in sports, Villarreal beat Manchester United to win Europa League. We'll take a short break now. When we'll come back, we'll bring you details of these and other stories. Stay with us.
Won't be grace. Nothing's gonna stop you now. As long as you reach out with Great Nigeria Insurance PLC. Your greatness is now.
Ìfòyà kò sí fún wa mọ́ o. Bẹ́ẹ̀ la ò sì pàdánù mọ́. Great Nigeria Insurance PLC ní ìfọkànbalẹ̀ wa. Tí ìjàmbá ọkọ̀ bá ṣẹlẹ̀ lórí ilẹ̀ tàbí ẹrù àti ọjà wa lórí omi tàbí lójú òfurufú, iná jó dúkìá tàbí àwọn alọ́kọ́lọ́ kígbe ni àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ilé-iṣẹ́ adójútòfò tí ẹ ti mọ̀ bí ẹni mowó ni. Kápá ẹ̀ wọ́n ti ń bá bọ̀ ọjọ́ pẹ́ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀rí tó dájú. Ẹ pé ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ 234-134-29161. Ẹ̀rọ ayélujára info@greatnigeriaplc.com. Great Nigeria Insurance PLC ilé-iṣẹ́ mádàndófò tó pèrègèdè.
Iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná a máa fúnni ní ìmọ́lẹ̀ a sì máa mú ìdẹ̀rùn wá láti wá dènà ìjàmbá iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná. Ojúlówó wáyà tàbí kébù ló yẹ ká fi fa iná nínú ilé, lọ́fíìsì àti nínú ìlú. Purchem wires and cables ní àwọn ilé-iṣẹ́ mọ̀nàmọ́ná àti àwọn agbaṣẹ́ṣe yàn láàyò. Ojúlówó ni, kì í bó lára, kò kì í jóná àbáàdì, kì í kán sínú, ó sì fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀. Ìdí nìyí tí Standard Organization of Nigeria fi fòǹtẹ̀tẹ̀ tí Nigeria Electrical Contractors náà fi dìbò fún. Bí copper cable ṣe wà ní aluminium cable ń bẹ nípele lówó tí kò gún pa. Purchem wires and cables tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Kaman ló ṣe ojúlówó wires and cable jáde. Olú iléeṣẹ́ Purchem wires and cables limited wà ní Afrins Compound, Fort Gate, number 122/132 Oṣòdì Apapa Expressway, Ìyànà Ìsọlọ̀ bus stop, Lagos. Ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wọn ní 080-803-03257. Purchem wires and cables. Ìrọ̀rùn fi iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná.
A fully furnished, nice and comfortable hostel accommodation in University of Ibadan, or a place for seminars and executive trainings at the same venue? You do not have to worry. Adebayo Akonde Hall suits your lodging needs and provides you a home away from home. Adebayo Akonde Hall is a 4-star hostel built in a serene environment with constant supply of electricity. It has fully furnished rooms that gives you great comfort at an affordable price. Adebayo Akonde Hall is located at Ajibode Extension, University of Ibadan. To make reservations, visit www.adebayohall.com or call the numbers 0805-699-8718, 0805-699-8719, 0805-699-8720. Adebayo Akonde Hall. Built for comfort. Built for you.
Splash FM 105.5.
Well, thanks a lot for staying with us here on the news at 1 p.m. on Splash 105.5 FM. Turning to the foreign scene now, United States President Joe Biden has ordered intelligence officials to redouble efforts to investigate the origins of COVID-19, including the theory that it came from a laboratory in China. He said the U.S. intelligence community was split on whether it was the result of a lab accident or emerged from human contact with an infected animal. Mr. Biden asked the groups to report back to him within 90 days. China's embassy in the U.S. warned against politicizing origin tracing. Dozens of villagers were killed in an overnight raid in Beni, in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The militants were armed with knives and machetes, and Reuters news agency quotes a local official putting the death toll at 22. Several other people are reported to have been kidnapped during the raid. Kasima Chief is reported to have been a victim in the attack. Residents are blaming the Allied Democratic Forces, the ADF, a Ugandan militia active in eastern DR Congo since the 1990s. More than 1,200 people have been killed in Beni since November 2019, according to the Kivu security tracker. And on to the exciting world of sports. Villarreal stunned Manchester United after a marathon penalty shootout, with goalkeeper David De Gea missing the last spot kick in the Europa League final to lift their first ever major trophy yesterday in Dansk. It finished 1-1 after 120 minutes as Gerard Moreno put the unfancied Spaniards ahead in the 29th minute before Edison Cavani levelled early in the second half. But Villarreal won a remarkable shootout, 11-10, leaving Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still waiting for his first trophy as United manager. Also, Zinedine Zidane has resigned as Real Madrid manager with immediate effect, according to media reports, just days after the club were beaten to the La Liga title by Atletico Madrid. The Frenchman's reported departure comes at the end of a disappointing campaign for the 13-time European champions, who also lost to Chelsea in the Champions League semi-finals as they failed to win a trophy for the first time in 11 seasons. Italian football journalist Fabrizio Romano broke what he called exclusive news in a tweet, which was picked up by Spanish sports outlets, including Madrid Sports Daily's Marca and AS, and the radio station Cadena Ser. An official announcement of his departure, Romano said, would be made in the next hours or days. And just before we go, here's a quick recap of the headlines. President Buhari says addressing security challenges requires joint efforts. As the world celebrates Children's Day, United Nations has urged Nigeria to reinforce child rights protection. On the foreign scene, we told you that President Biden has ordered investigation into virus origin as lab leak theory debated. And in sports, Villarreal has beaten Manchester United to win Europa League. For more details on the news, you can visit our website on www.splashfm1055.com. Now you can download Splash FM mobile app on iOS, BlackBerry World, and Google Play Store to listen live, get news updates, and opinion poll. You can also report an event live to us through the iReport feature. To download, simply go to any of the stores mentioned and search for Splash FM 105.5 and then click to download. And that's the end of the news on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station, and the best radio station in the southwest of the country. The news editor is Tunde Olawuwo, assisted by Abidemi Kajokbola. I am Charity Jerome. Good afternoon. Thank you for listening.